Hey, what's up guys? I'm C Love. Previously on this channel, I showed you some tips and tricks for replacing a ground level deck. I wanted to give you an update and let you know that if you are using lumber that is fresh from the lumber yard and not completely dry, there's no need to leave a space between your boards. Once they dry out, they will shrink up and give you the spacing that everyone is used to. Later on, I'm going to show you how to build this wishing well I just got done putting together. Up today is an item that pairs nicely with the new deck you just built. I'm going to be building several versions of some patio chairs using pallet wood, eastern red cedar, and treated pine. I'll put these chairs together with the patio tables already posted on this channel to make a nice set. Come on, let's take a look. This project started out when my day job asked me if I could take some materials that would otherwise end up in the landfill and repurpose them into something useful as part of a green initiative for Earth Day. Of course I said yes and immediately thought of some patio chairs we could use to sit down on while we are taking our breaks. These chairs are what I came up with, and while they aren't anything to write home about, they are still in use today. We have them posted up by a tree that we planted for Earth Day also. If you've ever spent time to break down pallets, you know it takes an extraordinary amount of effort and quite a lot of time, but it's a good way to get some free supplies if you're in the right area. Clearly, this isn't my best work, but we kept something out of the landfill and this makes me feel good. I wish we could do this on a larger scale. Of course, after I get done building these, I'm all gassed up and I want to build some more. I'll run home and grab the finest stock that I have on hand and start ripping and running without planning very much. I had a pretty good stack of some awesome red cedar that I needed to use for something. You've seen several projects posted on this channel made from this type of wood because I love working with it. It looks great, is naturally bug and rot resistant, and has a fantastically unique scent. It's a true joy to work with. I got this lot of cedar from my great buddy Dwight. It's got quite a lot of live edges and sapwood mixed in with the heartwood, so these chairs should turn out pretty nice. I didn't know it at the time, but before I would have a chance to finish building these, they would already have new forever homes. I wanted to build a set for myself, but with the new laser engraver that I purchased that I haven't yet made a video for, the ability to customize the chairs was the ultimate selling point. It's dark outside, so I'll start again sometime later by laying out the seats and seat backs in what seems like a good order, and I'll take a couple seconds to sand down every single piece. Then I'll seal the edges of the pieces on the seats and the seat backs. This will keep me from having to struggle with making sure those edges are adequately sealed later on in the process. Next is assembling the frame. The length of your pieces will depend on the thickness of the boards you are using to construct your chairs. Assuming your stock is 1 inch thick, start off with the front of the frame at 20 inches. Cut those two side pieces to 19 inches, the one across the back at 18 inches, and the one down the middle at 18 inches also. Once assembled, this should make a pretty nice square. I'll use wood glue and brad nails to secure everything together. If you need to, make sure and use a backer that you can push against like I did on the edge of the table there. The pieces for your seat and seat back surfaces will be the same length as the front of your frame, in this case 20 inches. I'll continue by attaching the surface boards to the seat frame, making sure to leave the one with the little white notes on it separate so I can laser engrave it later. I'll need to pause for a moment because the music just ran out and I'm about to shoot some nails in there. Once the frames are done, I'll glue and nail the seat backs together. The vertical pieces will be 14 to 16 inches tall and the surface pieces will be the same length as the front of the frame. Again, in this case, 20 inches. I'll make a quick stop by my buddy Scott's house where I'll get the final motivation to get my own laser engraver. This is a super fun machine to play and work with once you've had some time to learn how to navigate the software. I'll make a video on how to make a waste grid sometime pretty soon. I still had very limited experience at this point, but this burn came out pretty well. By now, I'm just trying to get done with these cedar chairs because I'm fairly sure they are going to new homes, so I didn't record a ton of this part of the assembly process. The legs were 24 inches tall, and I cut the arms to 21 inches. Use screws to attach the arms to the legs, and screws again to secure the legs to the frame with glue at each junction. Make sure the surface of your seat is about 16 inches off the floor, and set that front board of the seat about 5/8 of an inch back from the edge of the front of the frame. Also, make sure to angle the seat back when you secure it to the legs. If you make it straight up and down, it's going to be super uncomfortable to sit in. On these chairs, I made the seat surface level to the ground. Going forward, I may consider angling that seat down towards the back a tiny little bit to see how it affects the appeal and overall comfort of sitting in it. Back outside on the patio, I'll continue what may not be the most environmentally friendly practice. Of course, I want to protect the things I'm spending my time and effort building, so I'll use a not sponsored aerosol sealant to hopefully guard these chairs from the elements if they end up living outside permanently. If you've got a better way to apply the seal, please let me know in the comments section. I'd love to hear your recommendations. I'll show you what they look like side by side when one is sealed and one isn't, and you can see the color change is quite significant even though this seal is labeled as crystal clear. To me, it's quite a desirable change though. I'll finish sealing the other one, and then, well, it's time to build yet another set. I'll run to the big orange home improvement store and grab what I think ended up being 4 2x4/8 and 8 1x4/8 to make a whole set out of treated pine. I made all the cuts, and on this set, I beveled all the edges, thanks to a great idea from a friend. Hopefully you can see how much of a difference this makes in the visual appeal of these chairs. Once they were assembled, I was very happy that this little amount of extra effort made such an enormous difference. If you are going to make yourself a set of these chairs, I highly recommend you take the time to put a tiny 45-degree bevel on all the edges of all your pieces. To make sure I could get the right spacing on that little corner cut on the arm pieces, I needed a longer reference point, so you can see I clamped that red level to the fence on the table saw. I wouldn't recommend this unless you are a pretty experienced table saw user, but I've never seen this technique before, and I wanted to share it with everyone in case it was useful to someone. The tables go together pretty easily, and there's a video posted on this channel already if you'd like a detailed explanation. I'll take them back to the deck I built to take some pictures and show you how nice they look with some cushions on the chairs. These are absolutely sure to sell in the right market. Here's a pro tip. Make sure to check Facebook Marketplace for lumber and tools. Sometimes you can find a great deal. I scored this pretty large wad of eastern red cedar that I'll be cutting up to make this huge wishing well. It's over 6 feet tall, and the price for the cedar was very reasonable. Thanks, Kevin. Sometime, I've got a video coming up for the laser engraver, and in a separate video, I'll post the audio from a podcast interview that I was the subject of. As always, I very much appreciate your time and support on this channel. Stay tuned. More great stuff is on the way.